Hello everyone. that sounded weird. Hello everyone. So I'm gonna do a new tutorial today, and this time we're gonna do something a little bit about that creative block thing that we all seem to go through at some point. So let's say you just have an image, or you're searching around for images or something like that for inspiration because you don't know what to create. This is a workflow that's based upon this idea of getting the prompts from something that you see as inspiration, or something like this. Maybe it's something as simple as you can't describe this very well. So let's get AI to do it. Why do we have to do it, right? So I'm gonna use this thing called, not that, a node Florence, which some of you may have heard before. Image to prompt, this layered utility. This is going to be a pretty simple workflow, I think. I'm going to try not to go too crazy with this. But basically, connect this image, you pull this out to layer mask, load Florence2 model. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe this is native to ComfyUI. I could be mistaken. I don't know. But definitely, if depending on what version of ComfyUI you have, definitely upgrade your version of ComfyUI if you need to the latest. And I'm gonna go with this COG Florence 2.1 large. When you use this for the first time, it's going to download whatever version you put here. Just keep that in mind. You can see it downloading back here in the terminal if you're curious about why it's taking so long to load. It's probably because it's trying to download. So that, and we're gonna go and do this thing out here. Now take out the text. Now you could use this thing here, but this is for something else, which actually we could use, but we're not talking about that. Sorry. Anyways, we want to get the prompt. We want to get this interpretation of what this is we're seeing in a prompt form. So show, not text, although that does seem like the right thing to do. That's not what we're going to show. Show any. This is actually a really cool node that I don't know if a lot of people talk about this node, but it has the ability to show you the information that's going to come out of here, and it can be any type of information as well. But that's it. This is the simplest workflow ever, right? So we're just going to run this really quickly, and this stuff is already loaded, and it's going to describe for you what we see in here. Let me just expand this window. A series of 9 photographs of a young woman with short hair. Not necessarily the best at English here. Tousled hairstyle. Each photograph captures a different angle of her face from the front and back, emphasizing contours and features of her hair. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, you get the idea, right? It describes what this is, and it does it in a way with this version, this task, I guess you can say, in a way that's very descriptive. You can also use description. There's all these other different ways you can get the caption to come out. I kind of like this one the best. Maybe description might be a little bit more like the English language, or better sentences. Not saying with a short hair. A series of photographs of individuals with varying hairstyles, facial expressions, blah 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 blah. Subjects are against a plain white background. Now you can see, like, it makes it more like a normal sentence, I guess, with this version. I kind of still like the more detailed caption version, because I think this one just talked about it like it was of different people, and this one talks about it as if it's one person, which is it is. So more often than not, I feel like this version works best, but you can play around with it. There's a lot that you can do with that. But if I wanted to use it as a flux prompt, I would probably go for this. And that's the reason why I would stick to this. Again, this is probably something that some people, especially when they're creating those consistent character things, you might have trouble trying to describe it. This could give you a good start for trying to do it. But it's also other things like, like this map here, this medieval map thing, right? Put this in here, because I probably wouldn't describe that well either. But it also allows you to not waste time trying to describe this kind of thing. It gives you a good way of doing it, so you can reproduce an image like this without actually using like an image to image type thing and get something more original, I guess you could say. But now I'm kind of like curious as how far we could just like make this automatic. You know what? I know I said this is gonna be short, but my curiosity, I can't help it. So that thing we pulled out before, right? This condition text thing. Let's build a workflow off of this. actually. I think this will be pretty interesting. So we want to do a flux one, right? So let's do a dual. I'm doing this right off the right off the cuff. I'm not really like, I didn't plan on doing this, but let's see how you'll see how I work now. This is how I kind of like come up with things. Do flux, blah blah blah. Oh, not SD3, flux. And we're conditioning. We're gonna go to the case sampler right there. From there, yeah, positive. Let's go model, unet, flux. And see, the thing is, when you really kind of get the hang of this, you'll be able to like build out the stuff really fast. You won't have to think too hard about it. Like an image. I'm gonna do 1024. Do it like this. So the idea, again, I don't know if I explained this well, but the idea is that I'm trying to basically get this or something like this via this text, and I'm automatically sending the text through it, so that way I don't have to like copy and paste. That's basically what I'm trying to do right now. See if I can do this without VAE loader. It's already flux, so that's good. This is gonna look kind of messy, guys, because yeah, I wasn't really planning on doing this. Let's a preview image. I don't know if I'm gonna save any of this stuff. Change this to 1 on the CFG. 20 steps is fine. We're gonna need something for the negative. The negative just needs to be filled with something. You have to. It's what it is on the left side of any node. When you have it open, it has to be filled. Like, it has to be fulfilled on that side. The right side doesn't matter as much. Like, if we kept this open, it wouldn't matter as much. So I think technically we could just like disconnect this altogether, and it really wouldn't matter. This has to be filled with something. I'm just gonna, well, you know, I'll show both ways just to see. But I think that's a full workflow. I think this will work. Let's go. Let's run it. So yeah, when I work, I really just, once you get kind of like the hang of like what the foundational nodes was, like the first tutorials I went over, you kind of know how stuff works, and you know why you need to have it a certain kind of way. This is the only thing that might be a little bit tricky because it has a dual clip loader here, and we're not using the, oh, you know what we should have put in? I know what we should have put in. Let's put in flux guidance, because we don't have any guidance control on this thing. This actually is a good way to bring back this node, because I was like, I would never need this node if that other type of, oh, I did it twice. That other one that we did before, where it has the clip L at the top of the prompt, and then it has the T5XXL at the bottom. I realized, like, with it also having guidance built in, I would never need to use this node, but now I have a reason to use it. I'm glad it's still here. Let's see what we get. Hopefully it's not a black image. It spits out something. I feel like it should work. I feel like it should work. Yep, there it is. It works. Just like that. Pretty freaking cool, huh? Manstery Bitblier, whatever that means. And we're gonna run it one more time with the guidance to see what it does there. But yeah, it basically just it reads what the text was that it spit out from reading the image, then it automatically feeds it in over here, and then creates another image from it, which I think this is a pretty cool type of workflow now. Now I just created something on the fly that I think is pretty cool, but I didn't even like, oh, this has like weird division thing. Looks like it's a weird looking book, buddy. I guess that's an equator right there, and then this is, I like it though. And that's with the guidance put into it as well. I also just wanted to show that too, like, let's disconnect this really quick. That it's really about the left side needing to be complete more than it is the right side. Or maybe it does. Oh, maybe it does need to be complete. Oh, because it's left. Oh yeah, that's right. Because this is a left side. Oops. Okay, never mind. Yeah, that was ridiculous. Yeah, it has. This is a left side too, but yeah, it's less about this being incomplete and more about the left side of the node having to be complete all the time. It needs something there. But yeah, pretty cool workflow, and I think it really works with stuff. Let me, this other image head up, like this. Like I have a hard time like trying to describe this. So seeing like what it would come up with versus what I would say also helps too. And it also helps like develop a different type of, I guess you could say, lexicon or vocabulary for like how to prompt when you see how AI would do it and versus how I would do it. Pretty cool stuff could come out of that, I think. But yeah, I probably should, you know what? I'll let you guys decide. Put in the comments whether you guys actually want the workflow for this. Because I don't know if this is like just like, oh wow, that's so cool. I like this better than the original image, even though it's like not even the same thing. What did it describe it as? A vivid atmospheric digital artwork that captures a surreal scene in vast barren landscape. Dominant color palette is dominated by deep reds and oranges. Oh, it says portal. Okay. Well, yeah, this is like a workflow. You know what it needs though? Uh-oh. Now my brain's ticking on this. Because now I want to bring back... Because see, I would describe this like as an obelisk or something like that, with that has a portal inside of it, because it just kind of disintegrated that other part, and it's just like the portal part. Because the one thing you can't do with this is you can't edit the text in here, but I have to develop that. I have to develop a way that it can send the text and then you can edit that text. But I don't know exactly how to do that. I know you could copy and paste it. Like I could put in, let's see, clip text. Oh no, clip, was it clip flux? Yeah, okay, this is the normal one we would use, right? Sorry about this messiness. Again, just making this as I go. Making it up as I go. The problem with this one is, oh, and see, this feeds the other way. We'd have to get rid of this altogether. Yeah, we couldn't be, because I don't know if you guys can see this. The way I have it now, the conditioning is what it feeds this into the conditioning, and the conditioning goes over here into the positive prompt. The clip can only come out of this part right here, right? And for the sake of what we're trying to do, we have to put this to the positive. And where does the negative come from? I guess it could work. Get rid of guidance. We don't need it because it's built in here. I don't know how it would do this though. I'm pretty sure we can't get it to, how you say, what is the word, parse? There's no way we could feed this into the clip directly. We couldn't do that because it's just not going to interpret that, because it's accepting this, the model weights first, and then it's expecting you to put something here. Although I am curious about what it's going to do. Remember, we don't have to fulfill it on the right side, we have to fill it on the left side. So you can see it automatically runs despite the fact that there's nothing here on the conditioning. So I was right about that. I don't know what it's going to spit out. I feel like this is going to be considered an empty prompt doing it this way. But yeah, the idea is that you could do this by bypassing this whole thing. If you really wanted to just edit this text, you could bypass this whole thing, just go straight here. Yeah, it's nothing. It's not even listening to it. That's just an empty prompt. Yeah, you could bypass this whole thing and go right to there and not even do this, just my normal stuff that I would do here. So that way this is not even a factor. This goes absolutely nowhere. And then again, if I wanted to modify the text, I would just go from here, just copy it, put it in the bottom one. And again, what did I want to do? I wanted to make sure it was like an obelisk behind it. So dominating overseas is a large glowing circular portal. It loves to use the word dominate. Like, jeez. In the center of a black obelisk. Oh my god. No, I didn't just try to use a word I don't know how to spell. Hey Google. How do you spell obelisk? Okay.
Obelisk is spelled Obelisk.
Okay. Thank you, Google. All right. I'm just terrible at spelling. Okay, so that one, it should bring it back just fine. I don't think I routed anything weird. Hopefully it doesn't give a corrupted black image, because I don't think it'll do that. I think this will actually run pretty fine. But this is basically how I work. When I do workflows, I do it just like this. I'm just like realizing what I want to do at first, and then I change it up, and then that's where it gets like really messy all the time. Yeah, it brought back something. I don't know if that's I probably should describe the type of obelisk it is if I'm gonna do it, because it keeps adding this like little sun thing in here. But you can get like the idea, like that. This is how I would modify it. But I would like to make it. I need to come up with a workflow like that actually, where it can make it somehow parse this through and make this editable. I know you can do the thing where it's like concatenate, where you can like add on to it, but I would like it to be editable more so than just adding on to it, because I know a lot of people do that. Like, you can add like before and after, but I don't know how effective that would be. But it might be the only solution that actually works. Maybe I'll do a part 2 and it depends on whether or not you guys actually want this thing. Because it's basically, imagine this is, instead of doing an image to image thing, you're doing an image to prompt to image. Like, you're adding in this little secondary step that creates a whole new type of image, just based on the idea that we're going through descriptions to understand what we're seeing, rather than just using the base image or some kind of control net or something like that. But I think it's really good for like just building inspiration in a rectangular black. Let's go with that one. But yeah, let me know if you guys want me to, because I was just gonna do that basic workflow. It was just those 3 nodes, which again, I don't even know why people would need a workflow for that. Like, it's 3 nodes, dude. It's literally just 3 nodes. But maybe for this thing, maybe you want a workflow just to make it easy. I guess that's similar to what the original was, right? So yeah. Anyways, I hope this was informative. Got to understand, see how my process works a little bit too. And I think this thing is fun. I think it's interesting, just especially since, you know, if you run out of ideas and you just find images that you like and just drop them in here, see what it spits out on the other end, and work from there. It's a really good creative thing, I think, for me. Hopefully for you too. That's it. Have a nice day.